Today is our initial road trip of the 2025 season. I need to come up with a way to label them. Probably ought to just do it by star date or something like that. I now have my GoPro attached to my dashboard, as you can see, and today will be our day of figuring it out. And I will need to turn around so that I can have it on the road. And I kind of want to permanently have it forward, because that way, you know, when we come across moose or bears or wolves, when I see wolves or lynx or something, it'll be there, and all I got to do is turn the thing on. That's the plan. Today's road trip is Tangle Lakes Lodge. We are headed for pizza. It's 130 miles south of North Pole. I'm doing the roundabouts in North Pole right now. Going through some beautiful terrain through Delta Junction where I used to live. I'll share with you how it goes today. Alright? Any questions? Good. I'm not answering them anyway. I'll turn it off as soon as I get through the roundabouts. I guess technically I need to turn it around on the thingy too. I'm going to do that on the freeway. Yeah, I know it's not really a freeway. It's the Alaska version of a freeway. I don't know if you can see those mountains down there, but that's where we're going. Kind of in the middle of them, a little bit on that side. I'm going to go 15 or 20 miles in on the Denali Highway to Tangle Lakes Lodge. A couple hours down, some pizza, a couple hours back. That's our road trip for today. Alright, I'm doing this one with my phone because I have a little wind mic. I guess I shouldn't be touching it, right? This is the Tanana River. The Alaska Range back there. Absolutely beautiful. Denali is way over there. You can't see it from here, but it's out there. We're just on the opposite end of it. So, absolutely beautiful day. We are road tripping. Yep, it's windy. Chilly. We are not going to spend a lot of time outside today. But that's what road trips are about. You just get in the car and you drive. Sometimes you listen to music. Sometimes you play a book. I have The Gunslinger by Stephen King going. I have read it probably 30 years ago. I don't know that I ever finished this series, so I thought, I'll just start it again. We are rolling into Delta Junction, Alaska. There is a new Three Bears store here. It's a grocery store, the whole thing. And we have one in North Pole. It's not finished yet. So I'm going to stop in, and normally I stop at the IGA, but today I'm going to stop at the Three Bears and see how it's going. See what it looks like so I know what to expect when our North Pole one gets there. I'll leave it on so that you can actually see what downtown Delta Junction looks like. By the way, I've been counting campgrounds. One of my thoughts of coming today is like, oh, maybe I'll just tour through them all, see how they look. Well, they're not even open yet, so I can't even get in. So I'm just counting them. And I'm about to come past the Delta Junction campground, and this will make number 7 since I have left home of the campgrounds that I have passed. Here it is, Delta Junction. The bank. The IGA that also has a Wells Fargo and a Subway. And a little restaurant that's actually pretty good, the Cave. It's pretty good. The Alaska Country Inn. And then the 3 bears are supposed to be over here on the left. Oh, yeah, there it is. Looks like you have to actually go down Nistler Road to get to it. No, you can get through that parking lot, but I'm going to go on in. You guys are staying in the car. I'm trying to stay off crap food, but damn, I might need a Diet Coke. You guys are staying. Oh, I can roll the windows down. There you go. That's it. Alright, so I stopped at the 3 bears. I wasn't going to buy much of anything, but I did. So here's what I did. I forgot that I had not brought anything for the doggies. So I was going to buy Yummy Chummies, but these were a little cheaper. And I thought, oh, maybe they'll last us a little bit longer. So I bought duck jerky for the doggies. Right? Does it smell good? Sven, get up here. There's one for Sage, and there's one for Sven. I don't know about that, Grammy. Oh, there we go. I have to figure out what to do with. Actually, down there probably be just fine. So here's the other thing I was thinking. Oh, and here's what I bought for me. Alaska Foods Company Red Apple. There's nothing in here but apples. There was a cream and strawberries and cream one I really wanted to try, but I'm trying not to eat dairy products, so I bought this for me. So I was thinking about I should keep track of how much my little road trips cost me. I'm also pretty confident that I'm not going to be very good at keeping up at it. So here is my test for today. I spent $75 this morning of gas in North Pole, which means I got to pay the 6% sales tax also because I forgot to get gas at Costco when I was in town last time. So $75 for gas and $27.98 for snacks. I didn't buy a Diet Coke. I wanted one. I didn't buy a Diet Coke. So but I have fresh coffee that I brought from home, and I make good coffee anyway. So that's going to be our plan. So there we go. We have done Delta Junction. We're going to move on down the road. I just had to get out and stop and do this. I know you can't see it on the camera the way I can see it in real life. It is absolutely beautiful. I need to learn how to zoom it in. They're just white mountains out there. Absolutely beautiful. And then miles and miles of not much. And we're just barely south of Delta Junction. Haven't even passed the Fort Greeley gate yet. Coming down into the Donnelly Flats. It's a place where people sometimes come and drive their vehicles fast because it's nice and wide, clear and open. You can see the moose and caribou coming. Yep, that. And then that hill off to the right. Yeah, that one. That's Donnelly Dump. When I lived down here in Delta Junction, we'd come down and climb that at least once a summer, sometimes 2 or 3 summers if I was feeling really healthy. Even once I moved to Fairbanks, I tried to come down at least once a year and climb it. I don't know, 1,200 feet, something like that. But the vertical is pretty straight up. There's an easy way of going up the back and a much tougher, more straighter up way coming up the front. It's fun. And the view up there is amazing, although it's usually very windy, so you get up there all sweaty. You don't want to stick around very long. Yep, this is the road where people come to go really fast. It's just a second, you get out past these trees. You can see that there's nothing coming, so going fast is not really very dangerous, even though it is still illegal. We have speed limits in Alaska. Exit. That's when we turn right. 65 miles. Yep, there's somebody climbing it. Park here and there. right off into it, doesn't it? There are lots of places in Alaska to photograph the pipeline. This is I think, the most easy stage photograph. Photogenic. That was the word I was looking for. So I'm going to get out here and get a little video of the pipeline right here. I got to get the dogs out too, so. Here we are at the most photogenic piece of the Alaska pipeline there is, partly because it makes the cool little zigzag and you can see the whole thing, but also because those amazing mountains are behind it. Kind of cool, huh? Sorry, dogs. Didn't mean to stop without telling you. But it is windy and chilly here today. Fast zoom. Here's what it looked the other direction up the hill. Those things sticking up out of the ground are heat diffusers. They probably have a real name, but I don't know it. And the goal of them is to release the heat of the hot oil so that it doesn't melt the permafrost in the ground. So the idea is to get the heat up out of the ground. That's what those things are for. I am going to speed the videos up a little bit and add in some music in here because the road noise is pretty significant. So please enjoy the music while you enjoy the scenery. Campground number 7, passing right here. So Alaska has 2 major mountain ranges along with a bunch of smaller ones, but the 2 major ones are the Alaska Range, which is the one that runs, kind of splits the lower half of the state, so Anchorage, South Central, Valdez, all of those communities are below the Alaska Range, and then in the interior where I live in Fairbanks, the North Pole is in the interior, so that is above the Alaska Range, and that's what this mountain range is. This is the Alaska Range. Then there is another mountain range that is north of Fairbanks, which is called the Brooks Range, which divides the center part of the state from what we call the North Slope, which slopes down to the Arctic Ocean. So this is the southern of our 2 major mountain ranges, and it is the one that Denali is in as well, but it is east of here. So beautiful, huh? Alright, I'm going to speed this up. Try not to focus on the road, try and focus on the mountains in the background because it is just incredibly beautiful through here. Look at that. Amazing. Right here, right here, right here. Yeah, right there. Oh, I should have paused it there so you could see it.
Just watch me. The flesh on the huge frame quake.
Campground number 7. This one is also a popular snow machine place, especially in the spring when it starts to warm up, because you can go out there, you can see the little hoodoos on the side of the hill there, and go for miles and miles and miles on the snow machine. There is also, coming up pretty soon, the place where they do Arctic Man every year, which is a snow machine gathering. Yeah, 2,000 or 3,000 people show up with their campers, and they have a party, and they have contests and snow machining, and it's a lot of fun. It's, I don't know, happens around this time of year sometime. I'm not exactly sure when. Maybe a little earlier. Oh yeah, it's earlier than April. It's in March sometime. But that is along here somewhere too. We're coming kind of up to the top. There's summit. It's what they call it. There's a big lake up here where this is about where the water, well, the lake is where the water changes directions. Instead of flowing north, it flows south. There's also a spring along here somewhere, but I always miss it. I will see if I can find it and catch it on the way back. We are coming up on the community of Summit. It's just a little gathering of houses and cabins. I think they're mostly used in the summer to go out on the lake and fish, but I think many of them are probably also used in the winter too to come up and do snow machining and have a nice cozy place to come back to at the end of the day. And that's really all there is to it. It's just a little community of houses. I'm certain they all have their own water source and their own generators to have power. You can see there are people here. You saw the trucks all parked along there. They're out doing their snow machining thing today, I'm sure. This is the top of the pass. This is where the end of this lake, the water flows out and goes south. So it's downhill from here. And that is the end of Summit Lake. Now on our crawl down the south side of the Alaska Range. Although we are not going to go very far down because we're going to turn right across the Denali Highway and go through the mountains. We're not going to go very far. We're just going in 20 miles to Tangle Lakes Lodge. Have some pizza. That's it. Yes, this is pretty much what roads in Alaska are like. Not all of them. The main highways are not this bad. They are on a permanent rotation of getting fixed every summer. This is not a main highway. It connects two main highways, but it's completely recreational. In fact, out past the lodge, it's not even paved. It's gravel. In fact, the gravel roads are much easier to maintain because you don't have to come out here and fill all these potholes. You just grade a level again. But the bumps and whirls and weaves are caused by frost heaves. So the water underneath freezes in the winter, and then a little more water seeps and it freezes, and then a little more water seeps and it freezes, and it ends up with these big bulges in the winter. And then in the summer when it thaws, because the pavement gets really warm and thaws everything underneath it, they become dips. And that happens over and over and over again, and you can imagine that pavement does not live through that very well. I do sometimes bring my trailer out here. I really like Tangle Lakes Campground, but I would not traverse this road with a camper or a trailer just to get somewhere, like to get to the other highway. I would not do that. Hang on, dogs. Sorry. Because of those. And that's the fastest way to tear a trailer up, is to hit those bumps all the time. So I come out here to camp. I park the trailer. I do lots of little forays, either on my bicycle or in the truck. But I don't drag my trailer across these kinds of roads unless it's somewhere I really want to go. Big long lake that goes south becomes the Gulkana River, which dumps into the Delta River, which dumps into the Tanana River. Someday I want to do that piece. There's some rapids in there that you have to portage around, so I want to make sure that the first time I do it with someone who has actually done it before, so I don't get myself in trouble. But someday that's on my to-do list. And if you're curious, the temperatures, according to my car, is 37 degrees. So not really all that cold, even though I bet the wind is blowing at a good, 15 miles an hour, which makes it really cold. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this feeds right into the Delta River, not the Gulkana. Maybe the Gulkana is somewhere else. Anyway, that right in front of us is the lake. Kind of looks very white, very consistent white. Yeah, it's flat. That's the lake. Hard to tell. And there is private property out here. Some old lodges not being used. Businesses come and go out here because it's a hard place to run a business, especially when there's a very distinct season and you're limited by, how much business you can get in that season. The place we're going is owned by a friend of mine, and they've been doing it a couple of seasons now, and they try really hard to get it open as early as possible so that they can get some of that snow machining business as well. So the campground, my favorite campground, is right over there. Can't tell, it just looks like everything. And I'd be able to see the bathrooms. Yeah. Well, if there's no gate and we can drive in there, we will. Tangle River. It looks like somebody tried, but yeah, we're not going in there. They don't need a gate. They got snow. The big pizza sign already. Tangle Lakes Lodge. Here we are. I don't see an open sign, but I'm going to be willing to bet there's an open sign. You doggies are going to stay here. Doesn't say open. We're still going to go check, because they might have just forgot the sign. You doggies stay and be good. Alright, here we are. Tangle Lakes Lodge. I made it for pizza. I'll show you a picture of the pizza here in a second. All kinds of cool stuff. One of the proprietors over there hanging out in the corner on the couch. Local artwork, furs, jewelry, I'm not stealing the copyright on the music. It just happens to be on. Supplies if you need them. Games if you get bored. Mosquito hats, because mosquitoes here get bad in the summer. Snacks. I'm going to come over here and give you the menu too, because this place is the kind of stuff you want. I have the veggie everything. Absolutely fabulous. As the proprietor of the place.
Oh.
Tell me what you offer here.
We have 4 cabins, 8 rooms, canoe rentals, lovely restaurant, convenience store, showers, and what else? That covers most of everything.
And some fabulous food. Fabulous. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet.
Their dining room is small and cozy. You can see the puzzle off there to the left. There's a pair of binoculars. But in my opinion, aside from the fabulous staff that works there, the best part about this place is the view, because you get to sit and eat your pizza and look out at a fabulous Alaskan view. That's what it looks like up in the mountains here. A fabulous example of an Alaskan beaver dam. Okay. All the way across here. Made his own little lake. Okay. There's another one started right down here. Great. And then see the one out in the middle? And there's one farther up. I'm going to go get it too. So it's a whole series of beaver dams. This is the place along the Richardson Highway that has a spring coming out of it. This water comes out all season long, and everybody stops to fill their water bottles. I'm going to do the same thing, even having to do little steps to hopefully be able to keep it so you don't get your feet wet. See if I can do 3 things at once. Get some water, doggies. Make sure I get back, not falling on my ass, and hopefully without getting wet. Get you some water, doggies. It's a rock, honey. Alright, come on, let's go. Yeah, my dogs are not normally allowed without leashes, but I think I've scared Sven enough. He knows better than get too far. Come on, dogs. Get in the truck. Sven, let up. Get in. Sage. She's getting the hang. Look at that. She knows how to do it. Yes. Good doggies. It's kind of interesting because you'll notice that the mountains going this direction, which we're headed north, hardly have any snow. When we were coming south this morning, they were completely covered in snow and just that glorious white. Well, you know, that's what southern exposure does, is it makes it so that, you know, the snow melts. This is what we call breakup. Till the ice is all breaking up. This one was probably mostly frozen over, but it's breaking up. So spring in Alaska is called breakup.